Tonight, at least one Democrat has had enough of what is seen as the party's bias against Catholics, a controversy that's growing. We'll bring you the details next. And Democratic darling Beto O'Rourke goes live from the dentist's office. The new video sparking some to say today, really? The potential presidential candidate is answering his critics. We'll have that after the break. Update in just 60 seconds. Senator Bernie Sanders apologizing today after another report of alleged sexual harassment about people involved in his presidential bid. A 2016 campaign aide allegedly forcibly kissed a female subordinate.
To the women in our campaign who were harassed or mistreated, I apologize. Our standards, our procedures, our safeguards were clearly inadequate.
Meanwhile, Democratic darling Beto O'Rourke coming at you live today from the dentist chair. I'm not making that up. You see it there. The former congressman says the video recording his teeth cleaning was meant to highlight his dental hygienist who was raised near the southern border for an Instagram story series that he calls People of the Border. Now you know. All right, let's end on a fun note. The Republican National Committee chair trolling two potential Democratic candidates tonight. Ronna McDaniel posting this tweet with the caption, "Choose your fighter." A picture of O'Rourke at the dentist and Elizabeth Warren swigging a beer. I'm going to have to say Warren looks a little tougher. Better step up your game there, Beto. All right, a controversy is brewing, get it, with the Democratic Party over Catholicism. The progressive wing of the party publicly critical of the religion, even though some voter analysis says Hillary Clinton won the Catholic vote by a small margin in 2016. Tonight, at least one Democratic lawmaker has had enough. Correspondent Doug McKelway shows us how deep those anti-Catholic sentiments are in the party.
I am not the Catholic candidate for president. I am the Democratic Party's candidate for president.
The election of John F. Kennedy changed the trajectory of anti-Catholicism in U.S. politics. Critics say it's spreading again in the party of Kennedy. The latest target, they say, is U.S. District Court nominee Brian Bisher, who is Catholic and pro-life.
I do not feel assured that that you will be able to put aside your personal feelings and your ideological propensities.
I will absolutely enforce and apply Roe versus Wade at Supreme Court precedents in the United States.
Bisher is also one of 1.9 million members of the Knights of Columbus, the world's largest Catholic charitable organization. In a follow-up questionnaire to his confirmation hearing, Senators Hirono and fellow Democrat Kamala Harris peppered Bisher over whether he will end his membership or recuse himself from relevant cases. The grilling proved too much for Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. This week, she called out Hirono and other Democrats who have, quote, weaponized religion for their own selfish gain. She cited the Constitution's "there shall be no religious test" for those seeking public office. Hirono refused Fox's request for an interview, but sent a statement that read in part, quote, "It is unfortunate that Congresswoman Gabbard based her misguided opinion on the far right-wing manipulation of these straightforward questions." Hirono and Harris are not alone. California Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein grilled another judicial nominee, Amy Coney Barrett, about her pro-life Catholicism.
The dogma lives loudly within you.
Supreme Court Justices Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh faced a similar inquisition from Democrats and their allies. Both justices attended Catholic Georgetown Prep School. It was recently skewered in a Vanity Fair piece headlined, "Inside Georgetown Prep's Culture of Omerta." That's a mafia phrase for code of silence. Next week, confirmation hearings get underway for Attorney General nominee William Barr. He, too, is a member of the Knights of Columbus and is a Catholic, a constituency that Republicans see as ripe for courting. Ed, back to you.
Thank you, Doug. More news coming up. Ed Buck caught in a deadly sex and drug scandal. Here's our correspondent, Jeff Paul, out west.
Ed, authorities now say they're reviewing the 2017 case while they investigate the latest death at Buck's home. While the coroner hasn't released a cause of death, deputies say on Monday they received a report of a man who wasn't breathing. We now know it was 55-year-old Timothy Dean, the second African-American man to die inside Buck's West Hollywood home. Dean's roommate of 3 years says he still can't believe his friend is gone.
I don't really know what to tell you. It's like he was a wonderful person. Like, he's always been super nice to me and accommodating. I've never seen him on drugs, ever.
Back in July of 2017, authorities say Jamel Moore died after overdosing. Buck never faced any charges in that investigation. Moore's family, however, released a statement today saying they're outraged by the latest death, calling it an avoidable tragedy. The cases are now sparking protests and demonstrations, some saying Buck is a danger to the community and that he's taking advantage of the vulnerable for personal gain. An attorney for Buck says he's done nothing wrong, but that's not stopping some politicians from saying no thanks to Buck's donations. California Congressman Ted Lieu says he's accepted nearly $20,000 in contributions from Buck, but he called the latest revelations deeply disturbing and now wants nothing to do with any of Buck's money.
While we await their outcome of their law enforcement investigation, I've decided to return any contributions that Mr. Buck gave to my congressional campaigns, and I've donated them to nonprofits and charities.
In the past, Buck donated money to former President Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema also received money from Buck, but she says she's since donated it to charity, as did California Congressman Adam Schiff. And here in Los Angeles, an advisor for Mayor Eric Garcetti says he received the donation from Buck, but returned the money. Ed?
All right, thank you, Jeff. And by the way, next time you're stuck in a traffic jam, you have no right to complain. Here's why. Look at these motorists in South Africa, what they have to go through. You couldn't tell if the roar was from the car engines or those intruders. And by the way, that was a safari park where the lions actually have the right of way. All right. Most watched, most trusted, most grateful you spent the evening with us. Good night from Washington. I'm Ed Henry in for Shannon Bream. Shannon will be back tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us tonight right here at Fox News at Night.